Hey everybody, welcome to my conversation with OliveTV. Olive, thank you so much for joining me. It's great to have you here.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. We're super excited about the matches. They're probably going to be following this, right, James? This will probably come out first. So we haven't played any of the matches yet, so we don't know that. We're not like holding anything back here. We're just having a conversation. I'm curious about your background as a tennis player and as a person. And frankly, I think your audience probably is too.
Yeah.
Because you haven't really been super revelatory and like yourself. And I know like you want things to stay personal to a certain degree. But I guess that's a good first question. Is there a reason why like you haven't shared a lot about your history as a player, as like a person?
Well, I would say that, well, first of all, being a woman on the internet is a little different, right?
I've heard.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit more guarded.
Yeah.
And so that's like the big reason. If you want to look me up, like I do have, my tennis stuff is online. Like it's not that hard to find. I tell you the names of like the tournaments that I play in, right? So you can look me up. But yeah, it's for my own privacy and also like the privacy of like the people that I play. I tell them like, hey, it's gonna go on the internet and I'm not gonna use your full name, and that kind of helps people with feeling comfortable about being posted. So that's one thing. I did promise my audience that I would make a about me video, probably like for 100 subscriber special. And
Whoops.
yeah, whoops. Well, you guys subscribe too fast, so that's not on me. But yeah, so I would say like my tennis background is pretty run of the mill, right? I played high school tennis. I started playing when I was in middle school. I started taking lessons in middle school, but I became a very I had always been really competitive, and I basically when I started playing tennis, I was like, okay, like I'm kind of good at this. I'm pretty athletic, and I want to take it really far. So I went from
what age was that when you kind of in your own mind made that distinction in your own mind?
Yeah, so I started taking lessons around like middle school, and then by 8th grade, right before I was going to go to high school, I was like, I want to play varsity tennis my first year. And so that was the first thing. And
did you?
I ended up playing varsity my first year, and it was really cool to be able to reach that goal. Honestly, I think the only reason I was able to play varsity was because my strokes were pretty, which is basically the only thing I worked on, was making my game look good.
It worked.
It worked. I didn't win very much, but at least I looked good.
Why don't you think you won much, even though you had the strokes?
I have always been athletic. I mean, yeah, I've always been athletic, and I always paid attention. I always cared about like technique, but like mentally, I've been a head case like my whole life, and you can see that in the matches I play now, where some days I'm like really good, some days I have like no idea how to like stay on the court.
In terms of what? In terms of making shots?
Choosing.
Because it looks like you're very composed, and like unless you cut it all out, it doesn't look like you're blowing up or throwing your racket.
For every bleep you hear in an OliveTV video, there's like 6 more between points.
All right, fair enough.
So there's that. But
get ready for the bleeps, editors.
But yeah, I just like this year I basically figured out that my diagnosed ADHD and depression both play a really big role in like my anxiety when I play tennis. So first of all, being able to focus during a point, and then even during like an actual stroke is like a struggle for me. And so
back in high school, you feel like it was a big challenge, but you didn't really realize what.
Right. So I end up making a lot of errors, like framing it off of the tip or whatever. And a lot of those times it's just like, it's because I just like snap like out of focus for like that moment of like that I'm supposed to be intense. And that ends up being like just a nasty miss, even though everything else seems fine. So there's that. And then this year, after starting to take an antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication, I realized that like when I was, and I've mentioned this in my own videos, I realized that like during points and like during the same thing kind of like happens during those like misses, where when I'm snapping out of focus because I'm worried about what's going to happen after I hit the ball.
Yeah.
So that kind of was like kind of learning to manage like my mental health has been like a big part of trying to get to the next level in terms of like playing tennis. Yeah.
I've heard you say recently that you feel like you've made some good progress.
Yeah.
How do you feel about where you are now in terms of focus, mental toughness?
I'm really stoked. I'm excited to kind of apply these things that I've been experiencing in practice to matches that mean something.
Yeah.
Which I haven't gotten a chance to because I've been either sick or busy, like traveling, going to like weddings and stuff recently. So this coming year will be the first time I'm testing this kind of like what feels like a new version of me. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
I know a little something about mental challenges. And
Yeah.
And that feeling of like, well, let's see what's going to happen, like, and not knowing. It's kind of part of the fun. So why are you here? Why did you? Because let's be honest, like it's not everybody's first choice for a tennis adventure. So why accept the challenge to come to Wisconsin to play?
I heard there was some 4.5s talking, and I had to come put the smackdown on them. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, you're the first person to reach out to me, like seriously, to like.
Really?
Do a collaboration.
You haven't had other channels reach out?
I think people have. Sorry, I touched the mic. I think people have like commented about like, oh, you should do this or that. And I'm like, yeah, like I'll wait until I have like this many subs, 1,000 subs or whatever. And honestly, I'm so busy with like my actual training and like my between training, trying to like do videos on a weekly basis, and also like. I take care of like my home and stuff like with my partner, and I work a little bit. And so between all those things, it's like, how am I gonna have time to like reach out to somebody and like be like, I want to go, like let's do something, right? So when you reached out to me, and I was like, maybe like I might have like a free like week or two around the holidays. I think it's kind of perfect, and you guys seemed like really. Really stoked to like.
Not total psychopaths.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm used to that, so that's fine. Yeah.
So what are you hoping to accomplish while you're here, or in general, by taking this trip? What are you hoping to get out of it personally?
That's a good question. Well,
or in terms of your game or development, or are you just hoping to come embarrass some Wisconsinites?
Yeah. No, I came. I mean, honestly, I already got to see like I got to see. I got to see Wisconsin and like some of that, so I like that traveling aspect of it.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm like not conventional when it comes to like in terms of like my taste in like tourism. I think I like seeing like the small details of people's lives and stuff. So it's been cool to like be out here with you and see how you guys live. And but tennis wise, it'll be good to like test. It'll be like a good like mini test of my new mentality. And see how that goes. And then it's good practice for, in the future when I do have to like fly places to play tournaments.
Sure.
Being able to like maintain like my state, see how that goes, like being able to perform despite being in a new location. So yeah.
So why did you start the YouTube channel in the first place?
'Cause I'm hot. That's duh.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. You know what it was? I even like as a junior, I liked watching court level practice videos for like pros. And when I started playing tennis again recently, I went back to that, and there just really isn't like a lot of like. Well, now there's a lot more.
There's more now.
Yeah, but there's still not a ton of like court level shot like tennis.
Yeah.
And
it's so much more fun to watch. I heard you talking about this recently. I totally agree.
Yeah.
When the camera's way up high, it just takes away the
speed and athleticism.
The intensity,
and the intensity for sure. Yeah, it's like being courtside at like an NBA game versus like, nosebleeds. Obviously, I'm not 7 feet tall, although I wish I could be.
You can tell people you are.
Yeah, that's right. It's the internet. You can say anything.
Yeah, I'm 7'4".
So yeah, so I wanted to make content that, I thought people like me would want to see.
Okay.
And also like,
Was there something missing you felt like
Yeah,
in the space on YouTube?
how many other like female tennis players like do you see on YouTube?
It's
or like
really,
sports
yeah,
people?
I don't know what the deal is,
Yeah.
but I don't know why is it all dudes? I don't
Yeah.
know.
And
Do
there's
you have
also
a theory on that? Why don't more females? It's hard for me to find players to play on the channel that are
Yeah.
we got some recently, but
I mean, I would say like in general, like women don't want to be like online. It's like it's not a very safe place to be.
doesn't
right?
sound very
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. Or you can get paid doing better stuff. You can get paid better doing other stuff. So nah, I just like I don't know. I can't say why there's not more women on YouTube doing sports stuff, but I will say my audience split is 95-5 for men, and it's
Well, if it
maybe
makes
that's
you feel
part of
any
it.
better, it's the same for me.
Yeah,
I don't know
so
what that says about me,
it's
but
your-
it makes sense for you.
it's your huge yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That got me off track.
Sorry.
So you felt like there needed to be more representation.
Yeah.
You felt like the type of content you wanted to see something a little bit different
Yeah.
out there.
Oh, I would also say like when I was coming back to tennis, and even like when I was younger, there's not a lot of like queer representation in tennis. It's kind of like a stuffy sport, right? So I'm pretty open about like, how I live and my identity, and so I want to. Part of like what I want to do with like my channel is like let people that were like me, like as a kid, like know that the sport is for everybody, not just like white guys.
People that look like
Yeah.
me.
No offense.
Hey,
No offense.
I've worked at country clubs.
Yeah.
I know exactly. The stereotypes are pretty,
Yeah.
for that part of the game,
Yeah.
is pretty spot on.
So, yeah. I don't harbor any ill will. It's just like I want to bring more people into the sport. Yeah.
What about in terms of your development as a player? Did you see it being a benefit, or have you seen it be a benefit for you in terms of your development in terms of the mental side, the technical side,
Yeah.
recording yourself, posting it? Has it been a help?
Absolutely. So I guess one of the big reasons I started posting videos was that I wanted accountability for getting myself to watch film. And, I was telling you yesterday, I was, even if only like my mom and my dad watched my videos, that would be enough for me to make myself go back and go through the film, see what I was doing, both like, technically, tactically, strategically, to help develop my game. Because otherwise it's just boring as hell, I can't, like, I have stuff filmed from like high school that I've like never looked at once.
Yeah.
So those are never going on YouTube though, so don't worry about it.
Let's talk about big picture tennis. What's your goal as a tennis player?
Number one. I'm just kidding.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I'll have real tennis on my little shirt logo.
Sweet. Yeah, a little patch so
Yeah.
you can take it off later when somebody else gives you more money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, FTX on my shirt. I don't know if you
Wow,
follow crypto. I'm
nice.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's quality
Yeah.
reference.
No, my goal is like, okay, so I started training, I guess like part-time like last year, with the goal that within 2 years I would either, I would earn my first WTA point and see like, if I wanted to continue playing, to try to like continue getting a higher ranking from there, or if that didn't feel like it was in the books, then I would just call it and just play tennis like recreationally.
Okay. So you've given yourself a 2-year time kind of horizon for that?
Yeah, 2-year horizon. I'm like basically 9 months into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you feel like, where do you feel like you are in the grand scheme of things now? Like what odds would you give yourself of actually reaching that goal at this point?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm gonna say like better than 50%. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's I feel like I've made a lot of progress. It comes and goes. It's like progress comes in spurts, right? You hit a plateau, you make a big breakthrough, you hit another plateau. And so that's kind of been, what's been going on this whole year. I had like lower like abdominal surgery last year at this time, and I couldn't walk for. I mean, I could walk, but I wasn't allowed to walk more than like 10 minutes for like 3 months.
Wow.
And so from there, I started playing tournaments like 6 months after the surgery, which was way sooner than I thought I was going to.
Okay.
So I'm already doing better than I thought.
Is that against recommendation, or were you were good?
They said, ooh,
Or would you rather not talk about it?
I definitely have. I definitely like went to watch friends play tennis in like a little wheelchair, and I definitely like stood up to like bop some balls around, which probably was
record.
off the record. That's not Don't let my doctor see this. But it was. I think by 6 months I was like fine to be doing that.
Okay.
I just honestly still feel like I'm still trying to recover some athleticism from that. I don't know if it'll ever come back. But yeah, it's I'm definitely doing better than I thought it was going to be at this point. Yeah.
So you've got 12, 16 months left. What does that look like? How are you breaking down that time to give yourself the best shot?
Yeah.
In terms of like events, training.
Mm-hmm. So training wise, training is going to be similar or like more, slightly more time training than I have been the last like year, which, includes court time, like, 6 out of 7 days of the week, 1 or 2 sessions, and then also strength and conditioning, at least twice a week.
Okay.
Trying to cutting back on like my work hours. I did like personal training and like coaching and that kind of stuff. That's really helped with like my energy and like ability to get more training done. But in terms of like competing, my goal is to play, smaller like UST events, probably like mostly like small like money events.
Sure.
See how I stack up against people who enter those. Usually like college players are like good like
Play money tournaments just for fun. Just get a check and like get a feel for the excitement.
Right.
Again.
And I don't have to go very far for those. Like I can stay within California or go like just one state over.
Right.
And when I feel like I've gotten a few of those under my belt and the hype or like the anxiety around a tournament is like not so new to me anymore, I'll be trying to travel to places in like nowhere that have ITF tournaments, that are easier to get into, right? As a qualifier with no ranking. Yeah. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Why is getting that point important to you?
Vanity. I want on my resume.
Yeah.
I've been a strength and conditioning coach. I've been an EMT. I've been a data scientist, and I need to add something else.
Professional athlete.
Yeah, professional athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't be an astronaut, so so this is probably the next best thing.
I mean, you can pay to be an astronaut pretty soon.
That doesn't count.
No?
That doesn't count.
You need to do like the centrifuge like training and all that.
Somebody has to ask me to go to space for them.
All right. Sweet. Wow, over 50%. So, okay, how much are you guessing you'll be able to document, or how much do you even want to document? Like, because I know it's a pain. I mean, it takes up a lot of energy and a lot of time. So, tell us your plans like for your channel. In other words, why should we subscribe to OliveTV?
You already know because I look like this, But no, I'm just kidding. But I see like my channel as kind of like a casual, or what is it, like informal and informal diary, right? It's a little spiced up for everybody watching, but it's basically it's real for me. I never go onto a court thinking, oh, I'm gonna like film this for like content. It's literally like I'm gonna practice today, and like
it's real tennis.
It's real tennis. You guys, got there a little earlier than I did, so no, I'm kidding. So it's just like it is real tennis, and
well, I appreciate that. A lot.
And so the, if I had a team like Felix on Tennis Brothers,
a dad who like is a gearhead and loves to edit,
and a brother, I think, that would be sweet, but I don't have. My family
can't all be Felix.
Yeah, my family's garbage apparently, and and they're and so.
Plus, we don't have the accent either.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's probably up there with me for looks, but No, I'm just kidding. I have a girlfriend. Yeah. So
how much are you hoping, or not, like, what realistically,
yeah.
how much do you think you're going to be able to take us along for the ride?
Oh, when I play, you know, practices will keep coming. When I play tournaments, I'll probably prioritize 1 or 2 matches from each of those to post online. You know, I'm not playing a tournament like every week yet, or ever maybe, but as long as I have downtime, I'll be trying to post a video after every event, or at least like a practice every couple of weeks at least. Like,
awesome.
Yeah. And then, you know, in the future, who knows, like, what I'll do, like maybe some less like play focused content, whatever I feel like. Like I said, it's an informal diary. I don't really care what you think when I post it.
That's super key as a YouTuber.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk about the upcoming matches.
Okay.
What's your prediction? I know we talked a bunch last night.
Yeah.
I know your personality is not the type to like do a bunch of scouting and like watch a bunch of. I know you don't even necessarily want to think about it much.
Yeah.
But I know it's at least entered your mind. What, if you had to guess, what do you think the outcomes are going to be for the matches here?
48 aces and and return winners.
Each match?
Each match, yeah. 48 aces. Is that right? Did I do the math right? No. I think like it'll be, I'll probably like have to probe a little bit to get a feel for like the courts, to get a feel for my opponents. Yeah, I think like it'll be fun. I've played a lot of competitive matches with like, you know, 4 or 5 guys, 5-0 guys, and I've lost plenty of matches to 4 or 5 and 5-0 guys, you know.
Usually, it's not really anything new for you.
Yeah. It goes up and down, and, you know, I'm hoping that being somewhere new, playing against guys under the lights will kind of help me, you know, help me get in the zone more than it keeps me out. So, yeah.
Are you expecting it to feel different than a normal match, or do you think it's going to be just business as usual for you?
I think it'll definitely be a little bit more nervous. I'm not used to like talking to the camera during changeovers. I was telling you yesterday, I'm like, I'm gonna be embarrassed by how little goes on up here, and it being documented. So, but yeah, tennis court's the same size, you know.
I haven't measured it, but I think so.
It looks about right.
All right. Any final thoughts or like messages you want to send to your audience or our audience?
Wisconsin in winter is lovely.
It's magical, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm like literally, I'm not being sarcastic. It's kind of cool out here. I like it.
We'll take that. We'll take kind of cool.
Yeah. And everybody's been super nice. And yeah, you should subscribe to OliveTV, please.
100%.
Yeah. Help me get those sponsorships. Help me get a wild card into a tournament. If you know a Wilson rep,
there you go,
or a Mizuno rep, let me know.
I know some Wilson people.
Yeah. Otherwise, sub my OnlyFans. That's it.
OnlyFans. Anything else before we sign off and get ready for the matches?
Nah, I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, we're super excited to watch you play, Olive. And I should have opened with this, but I kind of got sidetracked. But it's rare. It's rare for somebody to be confident and vulnerable enough and like okay enough with themselves to put themselves in this position.
Yeah.
I've been doing this a long time, and a lot of people, you've been doing it long enough that I know you've seen a lot of people have a lot to say out there, and there's a lot of talk. And I've put a lot of challenges out there over the years, and most people don't reply.
Oh, yeah.
So the fact that you're actually here and you're actually taking on the competitors, like sight unseen, basically just showing up, like trusting us to not like screw you over somehow and like make it unfair or like anything like that.
Well, that remains to be seen.
Fair point. Fair point. But the fact that you just showed up and you're ready to battle and you're ready to fight, like I just respect that a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
So thank you for being here, and it really says a lot about you as a player and as a person.
Thank you. Can I say one thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say like part of the reason I feel okay with doing this is because at 26 years old, saying that you're going to go get a pro ranking in any sport after not playing it for 7 years is really stupid, right? On its face, it's like, why would you tell people that, right? And I think starting the YouTube channel and like having to tell people like this is my goal, not only was it good for like accountability, but it also helped me like let go of my fear, like, oh, like, you know, if I suck and I can't do it, like that's okay. And if I'm gonna get a pro ranking, like I should come out here and like, you know, see if I can perform. So yeah, that's it.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
All right, well, stay tuned, everybody. Make sure you go subscribe to Olive's channel, OliveTV, right?
OliveTV.
At OliveTV.
Yeah.
Anywhere else you want people to follow you besides OnlyFans?
Nah, that's good.
All right.
That's good.
All right, so make sure you subscribe to Olive's channel and stay tuned for the matches. It's gonna be a lot of fun.